name's Tracy and I live in Melbourne, Australia, and I work pretty much on the computer and I have 2 children and live a normal life. This is actually my second retreat. The first one was nearly 2 years ago in Seminyak, which was absolutely life-changing for me. I went not knowing what to expect and I walked away, I think, closer to my true self, and I made some, I think, lifelong friends and had experiences that I didn't think I was going to have in my life. Well, after my last trip, I felt that I wanted to do this every year just to recalibrate and just get back to my true self and feel closer to me. But that's too much. I couldn't handle it every year. Life's too busy, but now I want to do it every 2 years. So I wanted to go back to Seminyak and do another week, and then I wanted to come up to Flores Island and go snorkeling and diving and hiking and finding some adventure. I fell onto this trip only because I was booked in to do a Seminyak retreat, the same one that I had done 2 years before. And then just by going on the Facebook page, my eyes nearly burst out of my head because I realised that Georgia had organised a trip like this to come up here, and I was going to do it away from the retreat. So in my mind, I thought if I could have the nurturing, loving and safe feeling trip from Seminyak, but have it out here and still feel like I was going to get amazing food, amazing people, and feel completely catered for, it fell in my lap. So it was just a win. Yeah. Food is a big thing for me, like massive, and every dime, every meal, I just sit there and go, it blows my mind. Secondly, you're in the middle of nowhere out here, but you feel completely safe. So food, tick. I feel safe, tick. And the people here, everyone's different. You've got different dynamics, but you just bond. And by day 2, day 3, you're feeling like that everything's working. Coming into the retreat, I pictured something that was going to be very exposed, and I thought, I'm going to get burnt to a crisp. I just had that picture that I was going to have to get out of the sun a lot because I was going to be very exposed. But as soon as we stepped foot on the boat, I just realised how protected you are from the elements. All the eating areas and our rooms are amazing. But if you do want to get some sun, there's the sun deck where we do yoga, and if you want to do some sunbaking, or halfway through the day they put the shade up, so you still have that protection. But there's so many nooks and crannies where you can just go find your own space if you want to and have some downtime. But if you want to kind of mix with the rest of the crew and the other people on the retreat, it's just, yeah, it's all there. I guess the first day is always a bit of the shock to the system if you're not used to getting up early, because yoga, usually it's a 6:30 yoga session in the morning, which is really gentle and calm, and you may be half asleep walking up the stairs on the top deck, but by the time, it's still quite dark, the sun's only just coming up, but by the time you finish the yoga, it's a new day. The sun is out, you look around and you think, wow, did I just wake up on deck? So it starts like that, and then usually you have a little snack or a tea, and then you go, snorkeling or practicing on the line with free diving. And then after that, you're starving. You really need a decent feed. So you just come back and the tables are set. You feel like you're at a 5-star restaurant and the food is put in front of you. You don't have to think. And then the day progresses, that everything's planned. There's also downtime in the afternoon. If you want to relax. Myself, I didn't want to go out in the water 3 times a day, so I just stayed behind and did my own thing. Had a bit of a snooze, read my book, but there's no pressure from anyone to tell you what to do, how to do it. They offer it to you and you either take them up on it or you don't. So that's what I love about it. It's very easygoing, but it's there if you want it. It wasn't even my spectrum. I just started diving, scuba diving, 18 months ago. I love snorkeling, but I don't do a lot of it, but I just thought, it's an adventure, why not? I was very anxious and nervous, but I knew that would be normal, but still I thought I would be the most anxious, but everyone felt the same. And then within my first dive under, and they just tell you so much. They step by step, and they're patient and they're tolerant. And by day 1, I think I did 6.5 meters on my first go, and it just felt fine. And every time we go down, I go further, but I'm not comparing myself to anyone else. I'm just going within, which sounds deep, but you just with me. I just go in and I do my own limits, and it's so peaceful. I never thought I'd be into free diving, but I'm so hooked. Now I know that early morning yoga really just sets the mood going into the free diving. Like, you just slow down, you take focus of the breath, and the yoga teacher just takes you right through it, even if you've never done yoga, which I have. But I have a friend with me that has never done any yoga ever, and she's managing just fine. So I think it just teaches you to take count of your own body, and where to take the breath, and to be patient, I think. Yeah. Today was amazing. Today's been the best day. The reason I like today is we actually went on land this morning. We went for a bit of a hike, which was great, and then we went snorkeling, most crystal clear, amazing water. And I thought that was going to be the best thing that happened today. Best thing of this trip so far for me. And then we went out snorkeling, and we had a whole school pod, of mantas. And they were young mantas, and they were just playing with us. And I think we were out there for over an hour, and they didn't want to go. They just kept swimming in around us, and I've never experienced anything like that. I didn't even think I cared about mantas. But after today, I'm, madly in love. So that was a huge, and the whole team and the crew and guests are just on a high tonight, because we have just experienced something that I feel like the majority of the world will never experience in their whole lives, let alone, on any given holiday. I don't know if they'll ever experience that ever. So I feel pretty special right now. I think we were talking about this at dinner last night, and I feel really lucky. I think we've hit the jackpot with the staff and the specialists that come in, yoga and free diving, and I just feel like we've just got the best of the best. And I feel so safe, and I think there wouldn't be another retreat that can get better than this. And if there is, I don't know, but I feel at the moment that we can't get better than what we've got.
And you said you brought a friend along. Had she done one of these retreats before?
This is so not her. We laugh about it. I love my yoga and Pilates and adventure like this, and she's a beer drinking, smoking girl, and she just thought, I'll have a bit of adventure, why not? And now I think she's getting the seed is being planted. She's not missing anything. She feels like she's at home here, and she's pretty pumped. Yeah. And from when I went on the retreat 2 years ago, I come back home a different person, and I was just beaming, and everyone fed off that. Everyone was feeding off me for so long, so I was in such a positive mindset, and I'd learned so much about myself. And then to bring it into this retreat, I feel more settled in my life now, and I don't feel as needy as the last retreat, but I certainly feel that I'm just taking this on board, and adventure and life experience. It's awesome. So there's always an activity planned, and it's effortless. You don't have to think. You just turn up, and it's organised. So if you're someone that has to organise a lot at home, it's such a luxury to come here and turn up, and everything's done for you. And also the people that you meet. You don't expect when you come on a retreat, everyone, people might think, okay, I need to go to a retreat for me to relax and for me to find myself. I don't know, everyone has their own reasons, but when you come away on Ocean Soul retreats, you actually end up walking away so much more. You meet so many different types of people, different ages, different motivations for being here, but you end up feeding off those people, and you learn something different about them, and you might learn something different about yourself by meeting just lots of different people, and it ends up blending really well. With regards to this retreat, I think on one hand, if someone's an experienced freediver, for example, or a diver or a snorkeler, it's all here. You don't have to think. They're taking you to the best spot. You don't have to sit there and research and spend all your time leading up to going away working out where you've got to be and what you've got to do. It's just put right in front of you. But for someone who just feels like there's something more out there, but they just don't know what it is, there has to be more to life, but you just can't put your finger on it, this is it. This is it. You just find yourself and where you belong in this world. And I know it sounds really corny, but I can't help it. It's the way I describe the Seminyak retreat. It's the way I describe this one. And talking with guests from this retreat, they've had the same experience. It's just not me. They just beam that same, you know, and some people get it on the first day. Some people might get it at the end, and might be not be on the retreat where they get it. It might be a week, a month, 6 months later, and they'll just go, oh, it all makes sense now. I benefit from that retreat, and it sits with me now.